Launched earlier this year, Acura's new RLX came with an innovative rear steering system that made its big front-drive sedan actually a dynamic driving machine. The only problem is, well, unless you're an engineer, that's not very sexy. Now combine that with styling that's a bit subdued for this class of vehicle, and Acura made even the Lexus brand, known for its conservative styling, seem like the wild child of the Japanese luxury trio. So to up the excitement, Acura has introduced an all-new version of the RLX with added performance, increased efficiency, a whole slew of new interesting tech features, and groundbreaking all-wheel drive performance. Before we get into the specs, let's take a look at the vehicle's styling. The new flagship of the Acura brand, well, it doesn't really look like it. And for all the extra price and performance, it's nearly identical to the regular RLX model, which is already a bit too tame. The only changes are a dark chrome grille and a modified front bumper with LED fog lights. Thankfully, it does come with the larger 19-inch wheels. Inside, there's a real simplicity to Acura's design that doesn't really wow you, but it is still very nice. I mean, it's not the sumptuous luxury of, say, Lexus. In fact, it's probably more Germanic in its efficiency. As the flagship model, there's no basic leather package. Even base cars come with the Milano leather that Acura normally makes you buy in an upgrade package. The two stacked screens on the center console do seem a little odd still, and they don't quite have the impact of one really huge screen, but everything is really easy to use and easy to figure out. The first of many firsts inside this car is an electronic gear selector located right here. Now it actually replaces the traditional gear shifter that you have in the car, and it looks really good. It does seem a little complicated, but it's actually very simple. There's just a drive button here to put it in gear. There's buttons for neutral and park, and just a little toggle switch that you pull to put it in reverse. And it looks very modern and fitting of a new flagship sedan for Acura. The only issue I have noticed with it is when you do put it in reverse, it seems to be a long delay when you then get on the throttle before it actually starts backing up. Now, this is a pre-production car, and hopefully Acura will have that figured out by the time this gets to dealerships. Two other concerns I do have with the car is that while Acura touts it to have one of the largest back seats in the class, it's not really a 5-seater per se, because the middle seat in the rear is kind of raised up, and because of the hybrid components and electronic components running through the center of the car, you've actually got a great big bump in the middle like you would with a traditional all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive car, and there's nowhere for the person in the middle to put their legs. Now, another sort of drawback of the whole hybrid system again is that they're losing trunk space, and you've only got about 12 cubic feet, which is really quite small for a car this size, smaller than what you get in even a compact sedan these days. The list of standard equipment is solid and includes 2 driver memory buttons, 12-way power seats with lumbar, an electric tilt and telescopic steering wheel, navigation, blind spot warning, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, and keyless access with a push-button ignition, something the Germans just love to charge extra for. Another standard feature that's also a first for Acura is a heads-up display, projecting information like your speed or what's going on with the hybrid system, or even navigation instructions right up on the windscreen. Now, it's really very handy. It looks great, means you never have to keep your eyes off the road, and I wish more luxury cars, in fact, all luxury cars would offer it. There is, however, something missing from this cabin. Now, it's not here, and it's not down here either, and it's an eco button. I guess there really is a reason Acura calls this the RLX Sport Hybrid. And that brings us to the juicy stuff. The RLX Sport Hybrid Super Handling All-Wheel Drive, which, by the way, is the name its mother calls it when it's in trouble, is the first use of a true hybrid system in an Acura vehicle, and what a hybrid system it is. Under the hood is a 3.5-liter gasoline V6 mated to the first use of a dual-clutch transmission in an Acura. That 7-speed unit includes an integrated 47-horsepower electric motor, the first of 3 used to power the car. Move to the back axle, and each wheel features a 36-horsepower electric motor. Combined, those systems make this the most powerful Acura ever made, with 377 horsepower and 377 foot-pounds of torque. Fuel economy is 28 miles per gallon in the city and 32 on the highway, or a combined 30 miles per gallon. An improvement of 40% in the city and 25% overall compared to the less powerful front-wheel drive model. Drive it hard, and this big sedan, the largest vehicle in its class, actually feels very compact. The dual clutch transmission is both incredibly smooth and very quick to respond. In the sport mode, it will just gear down as soon as you touch the brakes, bringing the RPMs up and making sure you're in the sort of best position when you want to get back on the throttle again. And plus, when those RPMs rise, the V6 engine has a nice little growl to it that you can really hear through the car. The car handles amazingly well, much better than you would expect, and it's all due to this sport hybrid super handling all-wheel drive system. Now, Acura's old mechanical SH all-wheel drive system was the very first to be able to distribute power left to right in the rear to help the car rotate through a corner. Now, this does away with those mechanical bits and actually improves upon it, because the ability to have the electric power distribute left and right in the rear means that it's not tied to what the gasoline engine output is. And so it can actually give you a heightened differential between the left and right tire to really just move that car around a corner amazingly well. Taking grip to the next level, the sport hybrid super handling all-wheel drive system can actually distribute the power left to right in the rear when you're off throttle as well, using the regenerative braking function to differ the speeds at which those two wheels are turning, helping you rotate through a corner even when you're not really doing anything. While that may sound like Acura's sport hybrid is doing the driving for you, you can only ever get the sensation that you're not making this vehicle dance in the rarest of situations. And that's really important to point out, because when you think about all the amazing technology in this car, the fact that it's got a gasoline engine and 3 electric motors working 4 wheels independently, the fact that it responds so well to your requests really is a great feat of engineering. From throttle response to regenerative braking to even the smoothness of the start-stop system, you really feel that in this package you're getting something that is both luxurious and engaging to drive. But does all that make a compelling enough argument when it comes to your money? Well, if you value performance and driving enjoyment above all else, then, well, probably it does. And of course, you can't underestimate the cool factor of all the technology in that vehicle. At the same time, I really wish Acura would make it easier on themselves by making a performance model that looks a bit more dramatic. Pricing has yet to be released, but with a hint that it'll be somewhere around $65,000 for a fully equipped model like that one, well, the real ace up Acura's sleeve might not be performance or efficiency or those technology features or even driving enjoyment, but the fact that you'll get all that in a real value package. For more on this review and others like it, visit AutoGuide.com.